Hello there, Comrade Truck reporting in, and this is the first guide, the Void Dweller or the Meta Dweller guide. First and first, I want to talk about why should or why maybe you want to try playing Void Dwellers. And like the most obvious answer is that Void Dwellers are predictable. You always start with 3 habitats, they always start in your home system. There's no such occurrence that one of your habitats is smaller than usual, or one of your habitats has pops that have happiness debuff. And I guess that there will never be such a situation when you spawn and we're like, where the F is my second guaranteed habitat? Like it happens with necrophages. What's more important is that Void Dwellers, if you play Void Dwellers, you can basically learn the build and use it every single time, because yeah, you kind of depend on the space production, but actually, if you know what you're doing, if you know your build really well, there will be no such situation when you have to adapt to something. Well, unless something really bad happens, or if you get really good systems. Alright, so any guide starts with the Empire. Let me check. Here is my Void Dweller, setup. I prefer to play with Technocracy and Slaver guilds. Some people play with Xenophobe, but I prefer Authoritarian for the stratified economy that it allows you to use. Regarding pops, I always go for Charismatic. Charismatic is a must-have, especially with Technocracy, because you will be running low on amenities anyway. Intelligent, well, habitats are all about science, so Intelligent is a must. And I prefer to play Rapid Breeders. So Rapid Breeders will help you with this 10% debuff that you get from the Void Dweller trait. Well, and that's it. And let's get to the gameplay itself. And actually, when I'm playing Void Dwellers, I do the same stuff at the start, like every single time. Well, studies, I seek for the upgrades for the science income, but if you do not have it, go for the best resource that you can get. In this situation, it's capacity subsidies and energy grid. Make sure to go into the species tab and change slavery type to indentured servitude, because the game for some reason decides that being servant and not getting any jobs is way better than getting any jobs. So indentured servitude it is. Make sure to prioritize bureaucrats and then disable them, because actually bureaucrats eat a lot of consumer goods. Alright, species are done. Policies. Isolation is right from the start. Actually, you can change this to civilian, but I tried it with mixed. Mixed works quite well, and consumer benefits. The idea behind it is to make a stockpile of consumer goods and to not run out of them. Right, this is done, policies are done. Then we check the map and what is going on around. Well, we're in the nebula, but I'm not going to abuse this fact. I'll just delete the crew quarters and build hydroponics bay. Yeah, Void Dwellers start with a hydroponics bay, so make sure to use it right away. Make sure to strip your ships. To do this, disable auto-generate ship designs, clear design. Make sure to put no FTL drive. If you can save it, then save. If you cannot save it, then let's say pick some other name, click save, and delete the initial design. You will be able to upgrade your ships and get 145.5 LS back. Do not forget to check your ruler. Import-export, well, not that great. Space Miner is great, and Fertility Preacher is also quite decent. Alright, now I can start selling food. So my main plan is to check leaders. Oh, intellectual, that's nice. Nothing special here. The basic idea is to buy minerals right from the start. I need this. Oh, I forgot to unemploy 1 clerk. It has been quite some time since I played Void Dwellers last time, because I have been playing necrophages lately. But basically, my first building is swapping the commercial district into the reactor district. I need this additional energy to buy more minerals and to continuously produce buildings and upgrade all the stuff that I need on my habitats. Sometimes I prefer to build a science ship. Sometimes I get the intellectual guy. If I have the intellectual guy, I get the intellectual guy. But to be honest, it does not really matter. What matters is building reactor district first. Alright, reactor district has been ordered. Also, pay attention that you can buy 50, no, up to 52 actually, but I prefer to just buy 50 to make sure that the price does not go up. Actually, it is okay to build on this 3 mineral patch, especially if you have the space miner, but I will not do it for the sake of the clear run, because not every time you'll get the space miner. Why it's important? Because basically now I'm stockpiling minerals to upgrade the main building. My go-to is to build energy district, then upgrade main building here. Also, here's the trick, by the way. Let me pause for a second. With Void Dwellers, you can actually, well, not abuse, but use the bureaucracy thingy, like manipulate bureaucrats to your advantage. How can this be done? Actually, you can see that I have like additional tradition, adoption cost, additional technology cost. Well, this is not the best time to show. I will wait until the end of the month. Here we go. I enable. You see, this job is prioritized. I use what I need. I spend my Unity, and then I disable it. And basically, I do not pay anything for the upkeep of bureaucrats. And I have spent my Unity points efficiently without the additional tradition cost. And actually, this applies to technologies as well. Let me talk about this a little bit. So basically, the basic price without the additional cost that is applied because of the Empire Sprawl that is off the limit, the basic cost is 1.5k of science. As you can see, 42 comes from Empire Sprawl. When my already made research hits 1.5k, I can also enable the bureaucrats, the bureaucratic building, and the research will be done instantly. I will not have to wait for additional months. Some people think that it's kind of shady, and I do agree. It's not 100% exploited. The thing is that there is a problem with the usual way as technologies work. Let's say you have 1.5k, 1,530 points done for this month, and you're making 40 progress. The next month, you will be able to choose another technology, but actually, you will not have any stored research. So some part of your monthly production will be just lost. So using the bureaucracy building, especially if your Empire Sprawl is not that higher than your administrative capacity, you can actually overcome this issue. All right, that was quite a side quest, side chain, but I had to talk about the bureaucracy thingy because you will be using it a lot. And actually, to make it more convenient, you can use the mods. There was a mod made by Stellaris PT, and Mr. Stefanox has implemented that mod in his mods, Y mods that I'm using. You can enable and disable buildings using T hotkey. Actually, it helps a lot. So you do not have to click on the building, enable, do what you need, then click on the building, disable. Just use T. As you can see, instantly my administrative capacity jumps to 57 because I have 2 bureaucrats on the jobs. And pay attention, 2.5 consumer goods upkeep. It's more than a researcher. So disabling this building actually saves you a ton of consumer goods. All right, we are waiting for this first district to be built, and I can actually resettle one of the pops from the mineral habitat. Make sure to resettle your slave. It only costs 50 energy. All right, we're done. There are 10 pops here. I can upgrade the main building. Here, do not forget to unemploy 2 pops, because they prefer to be clerks instead of miners. Well, obviously, who wants to be the miner when you can sit in the office and do the paperwork? Works exactly as in real life. For now, you have quite a stockpile of minerals. So the idea is to build the research labs on your main habitat. Actually, this will be done almost at the same time when the new pop grows. So basically, you will be using all the pops really efficiently. At this point, you can, once you order the tech lab, usually you have some spare minerals to build your home production, like home space production. Let me wait. Okay, I have 400. I'm building research labs. Sweet. My next building will be the main building on my second habitat. Why it's so important to upgrade your main buildings? Well, first of all, you get additional building slot. Also, you get the science director. Science director basically works as a researcher, but with less upkeep. Yeah, that's quite strange. But ruler job, administrator job, requires less consumer goods than the usual researcher. That's why upgrading your main buildings basically boosts your amenities, gives you additional building slot. That is why I prefer to do it right away. I know that some players tend to upgrade main buildings later on. Well, it's not my piece of cake, so I decided to, I prefer to upgrade buildings right away. Also, when this building is done, when research lab is done, make sure to unemploy your enforcer, because basically you do not need this guy. There are not much pops on these habitats. Whom are you guarding, or whom are you looking for? Go and do some science. As you can see, I have quite a healthy stockpile of consumer goods, and that's okay. Soon we will run in deficit. Also, one important notice that when you get any anomalies, make sure to not research them right away. The reason is, in this patch, like 3.0 and later, you get way more science from anomalies, and this science, the amount you can get, also scales off your science production. So now I'm having like 30 physics, and I'll get, let's say, 300 physics. If I will be making 200 physics, I'll get 2000 physics from the same anomaly. And this will be added to my stored research, thus boosting my, boosting my science, boosting my research. Because stored research will be added to my progress. It will be estimated at twice the amount. So I'll add the same amount, like 40.18 to my research progress, making all my researches go faster, way faster. So basically this is like putting the stored research in the bank. You do not do it right away, yet you do not boost your technologies right away, but you'll get way more science, way more stored research if you do your anomalies later when you have your research labs upgraded. Alright, let's go. I need to not make a mistake of making this video too long or talking too much, but that's my first guide, so, well, if I fuck up somewhere, please do not be too judgeful, or whatever it's called in English. I'm not that good with English, so pardon me if I pronounce something not that well. One of the best benefits of playing Void Dwellers compared to Necrophages, because with Necrophages, especially if you spawn in the Nebula, you have a lot of stress. Like, where are my primitives? Usually, the earlier you get your primitives, the better for you. Basically, the time when you get your primitives, like the year, the month, directly influences when you can start producing your not consumer goods, but alloys on the second primitive planet. All right, here we have additional mobs. I unemploy enforcer, so I have 5 researchers here now. Sweet, all the pops working where they are intended. Now I have upgraded habitat here. I unemploy enforcer. It drops to workers immediately. Who knows why? Then I resettle one of the pops from this habitat to mineral habitat, as well one of the slaves. And I have 10 pops here, and I upgrade main building here. Sweet. That is nice. Pop growth speed is extremely important, so I pick this. Also, you can use hotkey button if you're not sure. Like, as you can see, 1 month left, right? But actually, I'm running 2 research points allow to finish this research right now, so it will be done in the next month. That is why to check if you have enough. You can even skip this window and just enable and disable your bureaucrats at the middle of the month all the time. Yeah, it requires some determination in micro, and actually one of the hardest stuff, like one of the hardest thing is not to forget to do this, but when you get used to it, especially when you're not talking to the microphone doing your first guides and freaking out, it will be way easier. Also, you might have noticed that my video settings are not that pretty. I decided to go the professional way and to play with the lowest graphics settings. Everything is done here. Nice. I can start building research district. So basically, energy district, main building, research lab, main building, research district. This is the way to place your stuff. Okay, I have ordered research district. Now I can start building in my main system. To use my Unity points efficiently, I do the tricks that I have talked about previously. The most important stuff is to disable your administrative offices before the end of the month to actually like save something. If you're not doing this, then you'll be paying the upkeep of the bureaucrats. All right, I swap my governor to the intellectual one to get the additional 10% output for my researchers. And for now, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my buildings to be built. Okay, let's see. Capacity subsidies and energy grid are not like capacity subsidies and global energy management research is not yet done. So I'm waiting to build. Once it's done, I'll build the energy grid on my energy habitat. Actually, it's a good practice if you're playing Void Dwellers. It's a good practice to rename your habitats, so it's easier to you to navigate, especially when you have a lot of them. When you have like 20 habitats, it will be really hard to cycle between the habitats and to know exactly which habitat does what. So I prefer to rename my habitats in this way. Energy, well, it's self-explanatory. Then X means it's habitat. Do not ask me why. And 0, it means like the initial one. Same goes for, well, this will be my energy habitat, and this one will be my alloy habitat for now, so I will not rename it and leave it as it is. Now I can afford purchasing another science ship. Void Dwellers can afford to have a lot of science vessels roaming around, and actually like rich space and a lot of anomalies is the way to go, especially for Void Dwellers, because you're really reliant on the space production, especially on the mineral production. Damn it, it's 3 years into the game and the guide is already like 15 minutes long. Okay, another side note. Market and mineral purchase. Make sure that you're always buying minerals, like at all times, at all costs. Make sure that you're buying minerals. You cannot buy 50, buy 40. You cannot buy 40, buy 30. The hardest cap with Void Dwellers that you can have is your mineral cap. At some point later in the game, when you start producing alloys, you will be hard capped by the number of minerals that you're producing. In the end, I'll end up with 4 industrial districts on this habitat, thus having like no place to put my mining production. So basically, like you will not be producing any minerals. Maybe you will produce minerals from the building that gives one miner job, if you're lucky enough to get the technology, but that's it. So the bigger your stockpile of minerals and the bigger your stockpile, the bigger stockpile of consumer goods, the better for you. Also, I have made a little bit of a mistake. Actually, once this is done, I could have started building this earlier, like minerals and energy in my home system. You need to grab other systems as fast as possible. Build starports there and build hydroponics base. So you're investing your alloys into the production of food, like the additional production. All right, science research district has been done. And I start resettling farmers from here. Well, not farmers, but basically any slaves. And I disable hydroponics farms. All right, now I have 7 here. 7 pops working at research. Sweet. Now I cannot afford buying 50 minerals. I need some energy to hire a scientist. I guess I will use the scientist to roam around the systems and to check them. Okay, here do the same. I deploy enforcer, it drops to the workers immediately. Then I resettle one of the pops. Sweet. And order another research district. Let's go. This has been done. Sweet. Quantum sphere, let's go. As soon as I get the research, I built energy grid. And actually, I can enable the capacity subsidies right away. I was quite lucky to get this research earlier. Also, let me take technology 1 month. Oh, I was not fast enough. If I was faster, I could have saved 1 month of research. And actually, all these small things, they add up in the long run. Okay, 8 researchers here. POPs only producing energy, and at the generator station, here POPs are not that well organized, but that's okay for now at least. Okay, let's buy a researcher, or rather hire the researcher or the scientist. Let's go and check the systems around. Home system production has been complete, so I build another system, like how do you call it? Not a starport, but outpost in this system to upgrade to the starport. Okay. Another side note: you need to always manage your research alternatives, because the amount of researches you can make is limited. So you need to have good tech roles. If I go for powered skeletons, exoskeletons, that adds robotic workers and then droids to the research pool, to the pool of the technologies that I can get. That's why it's preferential to go for, let's say, this one, because this will also boost my space production. This will be important later on when you'll try to search for the cruiser technology. It feels like this guide will not only be covering the Void Dwellers, but like multiplayer in general. I'm not sure if it's the correct way to go, but I have to start with something. I'm not hurrying to build something on my second habitat, like mineral habitat, because once this is done, research district, I have 11 jobs. This pop is almost done, so I need to resettle only 2 pops from this habitat. Well, slaves as usual. Prioritize miners. Okay. The initial build-up is done. Year 205. I have 11 researchers. Well, not 11. We'll have soon 11 of them. Here I'll have 7 pops working at energy. And I can slowly start rebuilding districts on my second mineral habitat into the industrial districts. As you can see, my amount of consumer goods that I have is starting, like my monthly income of consumer goods is approaching 0. So the stockpile, the healthy stockpile that I have done at the start of the game will help me a lot later on. Do not forget to put the scientists to the research assistants, because 10% is the same bonus that you get from the intellectual governor. And this can be like any scientist that you have. Later on you can put the scientist of the highest level, the highest level scientist that you have, to assist research to get additional boost. But for now, any scientist will go. In order to spend unity points, like as usual, enable bureaucrats, and after that, spend your unity to not spend unity inefficiently. Here we go. Another side note of the build is that I prefer to rebuild one of the industrial districts in your main habitat to the research district. So you get basically these pops producing alloys and consumer goods. They start working as researchers, and you also add 1 pop from one of other habitats. And you get 14 researchers. Then you build additional research lab, and you have 16 researchers. Actually, 16 is the best number for me. I've tried different approaches, like 11 researchers, 13 researchers, 18 researchers. You can actually pump this number to quite, to the high amounts, but when you're playing in multiplayer and we have 30 years of peace timer, you have to balance your income of alloys and your income of science pretty well, because having too much science and not having alloys is as bad as having a lot of alloys and not having any science. Because in both cases, you will most likely lose the war around year 30 when the usual peace timer ends. The basic game plan is to get the Voidborn Ascension perk, get 2 additional building slots, finish the build up on your main habitat, swap administrative offices to another building, like luxury residences, because you will need it to keep growing pops on your main habitat. One of the worst issues that Void Dwellers have is that their pops stop growing. You can have like 10 housing, you can have like 20 amenities, but the capacity, planet capacity is so low that it doesn't matter. At some point, your pops just stop growing. And this is why it's quite important to have at least one habitat growing at all times. Otherwise, you will run into problems of not having enough pops. Once you're not using this, actually you can delete this. You do not need hydroponics farms on your mineral habitats. This one is enough. This building is enough. If you lack food, you'll have enough like stored opportunity to produce food on your third habitat. 14 researchers on your main habitat. Yes, 7. You're producing 400 of research. Well, that's pretty decent, right? You can even afford getting other researchers to get, or rather scientists, to get additional bonus for the speed of research of your research alternatives. Like especially if you have industry expertise or if you have the military expertise, particles expertise, always grab those guys. Because they are really, really important and they always come in handy. So you have a lot of research, like really important researches, especially in the particles, computing, and industry expertise things. Also, I have just hired the military theory scientist, so I can use this scientist and get additional 15% bonus. That's always like beneficial. What's going on here? And here comes the tricky part. You can actually use and negotiate with crime lords. You need to prioritize your researchers, but make sure to keep an eye on if you have criminals or not. Basically, you will need to export crime from your research habitat as soon as the criminal pops on the habitat. Alright, we're using our Unity points, disabling bureaucrats, well, as usual. Picking Voidborn. Once it's done, you can build a research lab or luxury residences. It doesn't matter that much. Okay, let's do the research lab. Do not forget to employ your pops once they grow. To have an ability and opportunity to use their negotiate with crime lords. Oh, by the way, I was talking about the criminals. Here is the first criminal. But I will not be resettling this pop because anyway, I'm building a research lab on my main habitat. Here on this habitat, I can build another industrial district. Basically put my pops to jobs. On a side note, I need the civilian industries, since I will be swapping this habitat to the foundry station quite soon and swapping my economic policy to militarized economy to start producing alloys. And another important thing is that in order to have pops growing in this habitat, to not have mallows from the high pops, I need to swap this building to the luxury residences. And in order to be able to finish researches and use my Unity points efficiently, I need to have this building, administrative offices, on one of my other habitats. And this habitat is the perfect habitat for that. All right, let's check. Next month, I will be able to finish research, like this one, and I'll save at least 1 month of research time. Sweet. Here I have an employed specialist because I had a criminal, and I enabled administrative offices, but that's not a big deal since I'll have research labs quite soon. And another pop is growing, so around year 10, I'll have 16 researchers on my main habitat, and that's what, like this is my main goal for that. Okay. As you can see, I stopped producing minerals on my habitats. That is why it's that important to have a healthy mineral stockpile and to buy minerals from the market. Otherwise, you'll be running low on minerals quite soon. And as I said, the main limitation of Void Dwellers is minerals. Look at these systems. Just look at the systems. 2 modes here, 2 modes here, 9 minerals. Actually, 1 mode here. Like, these systems are full of resources, and that's nice. But you will not be always this lucky with your resources around your starting home system. Sometimes you do not get any resource, like any at all. And that's when the market purchase of 50 minerals is that important. Because as you can see, I'm already at 46. I cannot buy more. If I start buying more, well, technically I can. But if I start buying more minerals, I'll end up with high prices. Well, now it's 125 and 27. It will drop back down to 125 because I have this import-export agenda of my ruler. But if I didn't have it, it would be like 132, like gross to 132 after the purchase at the start of the month. If I increase the monthly purchase, okay, the price will start growing, and the longer it goes, the higher the price will climb, and at some point it will make purchasing minerals from the market, well, next to impossible for me. I have not built the hydroponics bay here. That was a mistake. Alright, it's time to pick your next tradition. I will not be closing supremacy right away. I have quite a lot of units, as you can see, right? 44 units per month, that's quite a lot. I'll use the trick with the bureaucrats, and I actually will put 1 point into the prosperity tree. This always helps, especially if your systems are full of resources. Okay, and here you'll see why I need the civilian industries here. I swap to the foundry station, so I have all my pops working as metallurgists. I change my policy to militarized economy, and I end up with quite a heavy loss of consumer goods per month. But actually, this will be countered with the civilian industries once they're up and running. Okay, here I built additional luxury residences. Now it's minus 0.71 from high pops. Once these luxury residences are built, I'll have like around minus 0.3 or something like this. Also make sure to always get the naval capacity and interstellar fleet traditions if you're playing in the multiplayer. And like the peace timer is at least like 25-30 years, because it feels like, why should I pick it right now? I have plenty of time, but actually these technologies are so crucial that you have to make sure that you will never miss them. 1 month is left. I can use the trick with the administrative offices. Okay, 1 month of research has been saved by this. Once again, swapping your scientists to feed the expertise of the research is always like a great habit. I'm doing the crime law deal on all of my habitats. If you have less crime than required to get this, unemployed administrators, you'll get crime up, negotiate with crime laws and restore jobs, and make sure to unemploy enforcer. Here we go. 10% stability at the price of having, at the price of always checking your, existence of the crime on your habitats of planet and microing. For me, it's a great deal, actually. Mining subsidies in this building is, well, quite great, I guess. I have just picked the supremacy tradition. It's quite important to start supremacy tradition right after the 1 point prosperity, otherwise you will not be able to finish supremacy in time. Your hard limit is year 30. Around the year 30, you have to finish the supremacy tradition, unlock the fleet doctrines and supremacist diplomatic stance. Here is the tipping point. As you can see, this pop is growing, and it turns into the criminal right away. I check my habitats. If there is an empty spot for the worker, I can always resettle this criminal or just export crime from my capital. Well, not in this case, not a criminal, but a researcher as well, like slave. And this dude, criminal, takes a researcher job. Oh, my governor has developed adaptable trade. That's perfect. All right. Mod stabilization. This is one of the most important technologies you can get in the early game. And the earlier you get the mod technologies, the better for you. The reason? Access to volatile modes gives you the ability to roll the next level of alloy foundries. And alloy foundries level 1, like level 2 or level 3, or level 1 and level 2, like doesn't matter how I approach this, is the most significant way to boost your production of alloys, and is the only way for Void Dwellers to actually increase the production of alloys to the good values. When you're playing necrophages, alright, mod stabilization is the most important technology, like mod stabilization or mod production, whatever, like any technology that gives you the access to volatile modes is the most important technologies that you can get in the early game as a Void Dweller. The reason is you do not have a lot of pops, so the only way to produce a lot of alloys for you is to upgrade your alloy foundries and make your pops efficient. Void Dwellers are all about efficiency, because you do not have many pops. At this point, a necrophage has 20 pops more than you, or like 15 pops more than you. All you can do is to produce something efficiently, in the efficient way. Volatile modes, once you get this technology, the upgraded foundry will be added to your research pool, like research alternatives pool, and you will be able to actually get this technology in the research drawer like this. Like 4 research alternatives, you will get this in the engineering tree. Alright, so I picked the mod stabilization. I was lucky enough to have mods in space. This is actually extremely good for Void Dwellers. Like any rare resources in space for Void Dwellers are way more valuable than for necrophages, let's say. Because remember, you're hard capped by the amount of minerals that you can produce. That is why it's really beneficial to get rare resources in space, or to get rare resources from the trade enclaves. Because production of energy, you can boost it by different ways. You can build additional reactor districts, you can even produce food and sell it. But minerals is totally another story. I have not played Void Dwellers for quite some time, that's why I forgot to put up academic privilege. I was wondering, why am I getting this many consumer goods? Usually I'm running at a way higher deficit. Academic privilege not only boosts the stability, happiness, and in this way stability on your habitats, it also boosts the production of research. My values before that were quite low, like 150 is not actually a good number for a Void Dweller. 170, 180 is the way to go. Once you open the Supremacy Tradition tree, you can build additional star bases in order to produce additional food. You can save up some alloys by upgrading your starports later on, like upgrading your outposts to starports after you get this. It's a great game, but I prefer to do it earlier to have to start producing additional food earlier. I was lucky enough to have mods in space, that is why I built mineral purification plants on this habitat. If I did not have mods in space, I would build the mod production facility on one of these habitats. This one or this one actually doesn't really matter. Later on, I will build synthetic crystal plants. In the end, you need the production of all the rare resources to enable edicts for your ships. In a real multiplayer game, I would be running with my science ships all over the place and searching for neutrals. Let's say trade enclaves, artisans, curators, maybe crystallines. But this is just a test game, so I'm going for like the local run on my local systems. I have hostiles here, but actually this is mining drones. Their range is not that great, so you can sneak in your science ship around and go and wander through the galaxy and check its wonders. At this point, I'm making 57 alloys. It's year 15. I have around 500 of research per month. Everything feels great. The only problem I have is that I cannot start making more alloys without building additional alloy foundries on other worlds. And I do not want to do this. So my initial goal, like my goal for now, is to get the research of the upgraded alloy foundries. I will not be taking these juicy systems, especially systems with alloys. Well, I have taken one, I guess. Oh, 2 systems with 1 alloy. I can delete. But I will not be taking other systems in order to make this test like a clean test. It's easy to have great results, especially when you are showing it in the guide, when you have great systems. I already have juicy systems. If I take all the systems, all these minerals, producing a lot of alloys will be extremely easy for me. I already have been lucky with the modes in my space, so I will not be grabbing this. I have started doing my anomalies, researching my anomalies quite late. You can start it when you have the amount of your researches, like research points per month. I have started doing my anomalies quite late. You can actually start... Oh wait, the tree. Oh no. Why are you running there? God damn it. That's a big pity. Will I lose the production of food on this? No way. Please don't tell me. I hate amoebas. I fucking hate amoebas. God damn it, I hate amoebas. The only good amoeba is the bubbles. I tell you. Bubbles is legit. All other amoebas are just meh. The funniest part is they're dumb. I will still get this project. So at this point, I grabbed 2 technologies. Chemical plants and mode stabilization. But for now, I do not have the second level of the alloy foundries, and that's quite unlucky, to be honest. It's cool when you are able to get this technology around year 12 or 13 and start producing alloys right off the bat, because the time is running out. Void Dwellers are not like necrophages. With necrophages, you can wait with the alloy production, start producing a lot of around year 20 and 22, and ramp up to like 120, 150, and arrive with 15k of alloys before year 30. Unfortunately, this is not possible with Void Dwellers, because you will not have the amount of pops to do this. Around this point in the game, you have a hard choice. Basically, this choice is should you start building Reactor District or not? If you build Reactor District, this will drop the production of pops on your third habitat, and the only habitat that will be still growing will be your main habitat, and with some malus 0.28 from high pops. At this point, basically, you're going all in. And here we go, yes, 17, holographic casts. One of the most important researches that you can get. And the only one that will allow you to boost your production of alloys on your, for more than 60. Actually, you can build alloy foundries, or even the industrial district on this habitat, but this will not be efficient at all. Second level capacity is also extremely important. Get it every time you have it. Without the second level capacity, fighting against a big fleet of enemy will almost be impossible, because you are also hard capped not only by minerals, but you're also kind of hard capped by the naval capacity. And with the second naval capacity, or rather the third naval capacity upgrade, or second, whatever, you will have 112 naval capacity in stock after going for the supremacist diplomatic stance, and so adding additional anchorages will allow you to boost your naval capacity up to, let's say, 130, 140, and that's quite a decent fleet already, around year 30. So let me sum up. You have the technology habitat with 16 researchers, 4 research districts, 2 research labs, and 2 luxury residences with a criminal duel. You have a full metal jacket, full metal habitat, with 10 metallurgists and 10 artisans. And you have the energy habitat. This energy habitat contains the production of energy, obviously, and some rare resources. Actually, making gases on this habitat is profitable. You will need gases to upgrade your energy grid to the next level, and next level of the energy grid will allow you to produce way more energy for your fleets and for your economy. You can have a fast estimation of the amount of alloys you'll have around year 30. Let's say you are arriving with 60 alloys per month, like I have right now, and a 6k stockpile year 20. So you multiply your production of alloys by 120, and this number that you get, you add it to your stockpile, 6k, and this is the amount you'll have at around year 30. Well, it's like the minimum amount you'll have, because obviously you will upgrade your alloy foundries that I'm doing right now. Sadly, I got the upgrade for alloy foundries only year 17. It's way better when you get it earlier. But I cannot cry about it, because I had a really nice space. And actually I could have gotten even more, but I'm not doing it for the sake of the clear test. The foundries have been upgraded, 72 alloys per month. So basically I improved my alloy production by 15 just from the alloy foundry upgrade. We arrive at the point when we can elect our ruler. Unfortunately, this time I do not have like good rulers to choose from. Actually, it's pop growth speed, happiness, all this stuff is quite great. I will not waste my influence on any of these rulers, because they fall into the same category. There is obviously not a better ruler out of these 3 dudes. Ruler elected, happiness, pop growth speed. Actually, this is not a bad ruler, actually. It's time to waste all your energy trying to roll the cap governor. I love rolling. I love it. Yeah, let's go. Let's waste all this energy. Yes. Game hello. Cap governor. Wow. I was lucky. The last roll gave me this. Sweet. Sometimes you get kinetic battery technology right away, like around year 20. The problem is that in multiplayer games, proton launchers and kinetic batteries usually are banned until year 50. Because, well, with Void Dwellers and with Necrophages, the way I play them, I always get one on the another before the peace timer ends. And these big weapons, they're kinda overpowered compared to usual weapons, like kinetics or lasers or plasma, due to the fact that they're extremely lethal. And lethality is extremely important when you are fighting as destroyers against destroyers and cruisers against cruisers. Basically due to the fact that these ships evade and use emergency FTL jump quite efficiently. So it's actually hard to kill ships of the enemy. A lot of them just evade the death by using emergency jump. But these weapons, kinetic battery and proton launchers, their damage is so high that enemy ships, like in general, they evade way less. And if your enemy has kinetic batteries or proton launchers and you have like ordinary weapons, well, you're done so. Basically, you're done so. Maybe you'll win 1 or 2 fights, but in the long run, on the second or third run, second battle, third battle, you'll eventually lose all your ships and you'll eventually basically get defeated, just due to the fact that you were unlucky to get these rolls and your enemy was lucky. That is why in multiplayer runs, we prefer to ban these weapons until a certain year, like year 50. Because basically at year 50, if you do not have these weapons, this means you have done something completely wrong, or your science is not enough. You have not enough science. Well, that's your fault, right? It's not the fault of the game that is not giving you one or the other technology. It's your fault of not playing well enough. The basic idea is to make the game fair and to not make someone win just by having better tech rolls. Even in like implementing the timer when you can use these big weapons allows people to like relieve some stress of not getting good rolls, like perfect rolls. Like if I can use kinetic batteries and proton launchers in every game, yes, 30, I would be stomping other people with these tech rolls, like literally. It's so easy to stomp someone with this. Wait, where is these amoebas? Where did they go? Wait a second. I had amoebas. Oh, did they disappear after I get the project? Huh, that's interesting. Actually, I love Stellaris because I keep learning all the time. It's not like I know everything in this game. For now, the initial build-up is complete. I have around like 550, 570 research points per month. My alloy stockpile is quite healthy. However, it would be better to have the alloy foundries level 3 and like enhance my alloy production to 100 per month. Well, sometimes you're not that lucky with the tech rolls and you have to work with what you have. I'm producing all the rare resources that I need, and by the time the peace timer ends, it's year 30, I'll have enough for all of the edicts for my ships. Actually, edicts add quite a lot of firepower to your ships, so never underestimate the power of edicts. Like, you can get up to 20%, 25% of the fleet power just from the edicts alone. And it makes a huge difference. This technology is one of the best. I love it. You get additional metallurgist output without the additional upkeep for your metallurgist. Damn, this system, 12 minerals. Look at my overall production of minerals. 135 and 50 I'm buying from the market, so I'm producing 85. So basically this system is like 15% of my overall mineral production of my whole empire. That's nuts. For now I have all the technologies in the engineering except for 2. 1, cruisers. Cruiser tech is like the technology that is really hard to get, at least for me. I always have issues with cruisers. I have stepped up my research alternatives game, but still, I'm kinda struggling with it. And the second one is alloy foundries level 3. Let's check how it goes for me. No cruisers, no. Okay. Makes sense. That's the usual stuff. Okay, 82 alloys. Not so bad. Like in general, it will bring me to 16k of alloys here, 30. Have plasma throwers, advanced railguns. I'll have sensors level 3. Well, deflectors, chroma metal armor is not that important actually. Like the most important part is weapons. And weapons, like upgraded level 4 weapons, are important, extremely important, due to the fact that you do not have to pay more alloys for them. You just need to pay rare resources. And actually, when you upgrade your weapons from level 2 to level 3, you get like 5 damage per day. And when you upgrade from level 3 to level 4, you get actually like an additional 10 damage. So actually it's twice as efficient as going from level 2 to level 3. That is why fleets with weapons level, technologies level 4, or just plasma level 2, kinetics level 4, will always win the fight against fleets that do not have technologies of the like 4th tier, like rare resource tier. Well, at least if the numbers are the same. Cruisers, thanks God. I was thinking about maybe I should make a save game if I do not have cruisers, so my run is not wasted by the tech roll, but actually I got cruisers just in time. Yeah, 25, like 2 years for the research. Well, not actually 2 years, because with the Empire Sprawl penalty, it's a bit less, like 2 months less. Sweet. $47 months. So in 4 years, I will be able to finish my Supremacy Tradition. As you can see, timings are pretty close. right? 48 months with a bias sprawl. So I'll finish my supremacy tradition around year 29, like in the middle of the year 29. And it is exactly the time when you need it. Because basically you just need the time to change to supremacist and to, how it's called? War doctrines, yeah. You need to have the war doctrine. Well, actually, war doctrine can be changed later, but the policy, like the supremacist policy, cannot be done if you're already in the fight. And this will screw your naval capacity if you do not have it before the war starts. So it's extremely important to finish your supremacy before the end of the peace timer, which is 30 years. And that is why, like, I have tested it in different situations. And like 1 point into prosperity and all supremacy, and you're good to go. I have more unity from my rulers also, maybe I have an issue actually. I might have an issue, might have had an issue, rather, without this ruler. But usually, I guess the problem was that I did not enable the academic privilege when I had to. Like when you have 11 researchers, even like researchers, even when you have 8, actually, you can enable it and as well get more unity. Also, I did not have any... Wait, what is that? Oh, hello there. Did you travel from the wormhole? Interesting. Okay, now I can make design of my cruisers. The usual design... Well, actually, this run wasn't that great in the tech rolls department, but at least I have yellow computers. I have kinetics, level 4. I'll go with plasma anyway, like half plasma, half kinetics. Do I have some space for auxiliary computers? Okay, let's go with this. Picket computers against enemy destroyers, and line computer is okay against enemy cruisers actually. You have enough tracking from your sensors in order to counter the evasion of enemy cruisers. I have 10 evasion. So enemy cruisers will have around this number. So basically like having 10 tracking and a little bit of tracking from your weapons is good enough. With 6 shipyards, I have 6 shipyards basically that are situated on my 3 of my starports. If you have the upgrade, you can have 1 starhold and one starport, making it also 6 shipyards. You can start building at the end of the year 26, at the start of the year 27. It also depends on the amount of alloys you have. I do not have that many alloys. Well, actually, I have quite a lot. I guess it's on average for Void Dwellers. I wish I had alloy foundries level 2, or rather level 3, but it's not the case. So I had to build an additional alloy foundry here. Oh, and I have plasma, so I will be able to upgrade my cruisers once they are done. Sweet. I have ordered 10 cruisers here, 8 cruisers here, and 8 cruisers here. Total making it, how many? 26. And I'll have enough alloys to order like 5-6 more cruisers in the span of the next 2 to 3 years. I guess I'll be able to produce like at least 30 cruisers, maybe 35 cruisers. And actually it's quite a nice number for a Void Dweller. My ships will be, well, my ships are quite high tech, right? Cruiser hull points isn't extremely important. Well, I know that I'm using extremely, really extremely, but basically you're getting fleet power for free. It does not make the price of your ships higher. That is why going for this, like getting this technology, getting this upgrade, is always worth it. I'm not sure when you will be watching this video, but for now, fleet supremacy is not fixed. And actually, ships do not get starting experience. That is why building fleet academies is a must. Additional 10% weapon damage for your ships is a great addition to the military power of your ships. If you see that you are producing ships way too fast, like faster than the academy will be built, you can actually, how do you call it, like delete some cruisers, like build cruisers and order them again. So all the ships that will be produced from the shipyard will get this starting experience, and you get the maximum value of your like naval capacity that you have. It will add like 5 to 6% of the fleet power, just these models alone. Oh, that is perfect. My fleet academies will be built like 20 days before the cruisers are done. Damn, that is such a great timing. Like, actually, that's great timing. I like it. It feels like it has been kind of orchestrated, but it was not. I have not made any saves and like played from save. Alright. You can also try to get good admirals. Good admirals, trickster admiral, and range admiral for your ships. Never use unyielding. Unyielding is a way to lose the fights with cruisers. Okay, the game does not want to give me this. Let's have some edicts. Actually, with Void Dwellers, it's quite great to have edicts because edicts cost such a low amount. Alright, I have all edicts up, all of them. So once my ships are done, okay, let's see. Supremacy tradition finished. Ships have been built. All edicts are up. I can even order, like, on the shipyard that is closest to the enemy. I can order additional ships. Why closer to the enemy? Because basically, you'll have a travel time from the furthest of your shipyards. Yeah, economy does not look so great, but if you start selling some alloys, you basically will be okay. Also policist, supremacist, let's go. Once this research is done, my fleet power will also rise a little bit. Oh, I forgot to upgrade my cruisers, yeah, and I'll make an upgrade. Sweet. Once the upgrade is complete, my fleet power will actually achieve the numbers that are okay for a Void Dweller. Okay, here we go. Not the best numbers, right? Like how many? 15k? But let me upgrade ships first. Yes, 30. Well, economy is sort of stable. I have plus 40 alloys. I can sell some rare resources, right? I can buy... Okay, let's sell this. Let's sell this. Let's sell this. Buy minerals to not have red. 15k, like... So. I got my alloy foundry upgrade quite late. I did not get the cruiser discount. I have no crystallines. I have no fleet ruler. All of this can add up to the fleet power. Also, I did not grab the systems with crystals, with alloys. Like 5 alloys per month, and actually not 5. Let's check 1 alloy. It's 70% on top of that, so it's not 5, actually it's 8.5 alloys. If you take all the systems, like I was running this as a clear test, like test without additional good benefits. I did not take this volatile mode thingy. Even with all these factors, I have like 16, 17k of fleet, like right now. And this fleet is without like defense and death, so there is no 10% home territory fire rates. I have no buffs for my leader. And once these ships are upgraded, I'll see the actual power of my fleet. I can add additional cruiser. It will make it like 33 cruisers. With crystalline entities, I guess even with this amount of allies that I have right now, I'll be able to produce, let's say, like 40, 45 cruisers. That would have boosted my fleet power to around 20k, 20, 21, 22k. And I have to tell you that's a lot, actually. Like 15k is a good average number. Like, yeah, that's cruisers. That's great. Not destroyers, not corvettes. Also, look at this. This research has been done, and I immediately got additional buff of the fleet power. So my fleets are now almost 18k. And that's without crystallines, that's without fleet ruler, or really good systems. Yeah, my systems were quite decent, but I cannot tell that they were like perfect. Like almost 18k of fleet power. And these ships will scale extremely well. Like any additional upgrades for the shields or for the armor, well, everything that you need on your cruiser, actually I have it. Well, hopefully this guide will be helpful. I'm not sure if this format that I have used like is the best one. Maybe I need to make shorter guides. Kindly ask you to tell me in the comments to this video, like if you would like me to make shorter guides, like guides maximum 10 minutes with all the important information and not the playthrough. Or maybe instead you like the playthrough and I have to make more videos like in this format. Make sure to share your opinion on the video. Maybe you have some ideas what to improve, because this is my first video, like first serious video on YouTube. And I'm planning to make a lot of videos. I have a lot of experience to share. And I have been thinking of making videos for like a year now. And it's already a meme on my stream, on my Twitch channel. By the way, I'm streaming every day, or with almost every day. We are also hosting games, like competitive multiplayer games, almost every day. So make sure to check the link in the description. There I'll put the link to our Discord server, the server of competitive players, Interstellar Station. And I guess that's it. Thank you for watching, guys and girls. That will be cool if this information is useful for you. Leave your comments, press like, subscribe, all this stuff. I'm not that versatile with YouTube yet, so maybe that's not the best end of the video. Anyway, have fun, use this video to your advantage, and we'll see you on the galaxy.